didn't speak it out, and why?
That's a really good question.
Good question. I'd love to say yes to give Thor more intelligence, but I don't think he did. Due to his stupidity. No, I don't think he did, and I think it's more interesting coming into the next one, him having no clue, you know. But yeah, interesting question.
I mean, Loki does a very good impersonation of Odin, I think. You've got to he really goes, he almost goes to the length that you've gone. Like, he gets the costume and the eye patch and the beard. Manages to get Anthony Hopkins to come and do it for a day.
Anthony Hopkins has good interpretation, but
yeah. No, that's his sort of mastery of illusions, I think. And what's exciting about Ragnarok is that it kind of, there's some questions that need answering, shall we say. Maybe you'll find out.
Thank you.
So we all know that Loki is a puny guy. But we all know that you're a fantastic dancer. You're marvelous moves, fantastic, they're great. However, when it comes to the Night Manager and your future role as James Bond, do you think you can see yourself dancing to save the woman, to do the heroic things?
Dude, can I just... What
He's not funny, yeah?
Darth Trump. They call me the end.
Darth Trump.
You're a huge inspiration for the Marvel Universe.
I don't know about these guys, but I didn't hear a single thing you said. No, you can't be president.
All right, I'll ask you this one. All right, so you made a fantastic performance within The Night Manager. It was an amazing miniseries. However, with the rumors of you going through potentially being 007 and your proclivity to dance on stage, can we imagine some kind of extravagant dance scene as 007 for the first time?
Definitely.
That question's for Chris, right? Yeah.
I think you should, yeah. Dance right now.
If I'm dancing, you're dancing.
So,
It could be, I wonder if Bond, I wonder if he's ever danced before. He must have done, right?
Yeah.
He slowed down, does he slow, well, some people know more than I do. Tango. Pierce Brosnan dances in The Thomas Crown Affair. And I guess that, maybe. I'll pitch it for you, all right? So with thanks to the Donald,
Hi.
go and build a wall somewhere, dude. Not here.
Hello. So first of all, I'd like to thank you guys for being here. I know there's probably like other places you'd rather be, but it does mean a great deal to a lot of people. So thank you.
We love being here. No, this is fantastic stuff.
But my question for you is, both of you as actors, you put so much work into a variety of roles and characters who come from such different places. But I feel like publicly sometimes people just like tag you as Loki and Thor, and that's kind of it. And how does that make you feel as actors, as perhaps not getting as much recognition for the work you put into your art?
You know, I think that I'm so grateful, and we both got these roles at the same time in our lives, and obviously the popularity of the Marvel Universe is so, it reaches so far and wide, and I guess some of the other films we've made maybe don't have the same reach, and not for any reasons that we can judge. It's just that, you know, people love these movies all over the world. So
it's funny because I think both, you know, this was certainly the biggest thing we'd ever done and kind of kicked our career, and so you're kind of spoiled from the beginning because then you expect that kind of response with everything, and you're like, oh, not as many people turned up for this one, you know? And then you realise, oh no, it's because the Marvel universe is, you know, way larger than we are, and how lucky we are to be a part of it. And I think it's a challenge to then try and do things outside of those roles and get recognition. But you know, these roles, this role only ever gave me opportunities to do anything else. So none of it I feel any sort of disappointment about. You know, I think it's all. I just feel happy to be working. You know.
Good question. Thank you, though.
Hi, I'm so nervous here. It's so amazing to see you guys here. My question is, we all know that both of you have played a lot of great characters other than Thor and Loki. If you have a chance to, like, each of you choose one of your former characters and to make them meet with each other's character, which two would you like to pick and let them meet?
If I was, I'd probably choose James Hunt from Rush. That was probably just a character I love playing and I love the film. But as far as would he get along with whoever you choose, I don't know.
But quite interesting. Like, it would be quite interesting to have like a meet-up between Jonathan Pine and James Hunt, wouldn't it? Jonathan, the night manager. Yeah.
We don't get that in Australia. It takes a long time to get there because the seas are rough and the boats are very slow.
Sorry, Chris. You don't have to make excuses.
I've got 3 kids. I don't want anything.
Or there could be like. Oh God, I don't know. What do you think? What would be the most interesting SmackDown?
How about Kirk from Star Trek?
Or the guy. What's the good character's name in Ghostbusters?
Kevin.
Kevin meets the Great Escapo from the Muppets.
Thank you.
Hi, thanks for being here. I guess, Tom, this is a question for you. I feel like the longer that you have one villain in a story kind of as a serial, there's a risk for them to become one-dimensional. So how are you going to approach Loki the 4th time around now to continue to bring out his depth?
It's a great question. I have to say, I'm so excited about playing him again. I haven't played him, I really haven't played him properly since like the end of 2012. I know Dark World came out in 2013, but the last time I put the suit on was in 2012, if you exclude San Diego Comic-Con. I don't know if we include that or not, but thank you. So what I'm interested in really is how his attitudes have changed. While Thor was away with his buddies fighting a computer. I think you'll see. There's all sorts of interesting things. I'm 4 years older. Chris is 4 years older. There'll be just new things we find in it. The most exciting thing about it is always that he is a trickster. It is trying to find new ways of him being mischievous, because I love doing that. And I hope that you guys love watching that. Yeah. And let's not forget, there's no secret that the Hulk shows up in Ragnarok. And the last time Loki and Hulk were in the same room, it didn't go very well for Loki. So he's got a few chips on his shoulder. Yeah, but it's fun. You'll see.
Okay, well, we look forward to it. Thanks.
So, my question is, we're gonna play Sleep, Marry, Kiss, and Kill questions for audition. So the choose will be a little bit different. So for Chris will be choose between the Warrior 3 and Loki. For Tom will be choose between the Warrior 3 and Chris and Thor. Please don't kill each other. You don't answer one word.
Like the game, like who would you marry? Who would you be friends with? Who would you kill? That type of game.
I'm pretty sure it's not who would you be friends with.
Yeah. She kept it PG. We kept it PG.
Okay. Everyone knows the game, I think. Goodness me. Well, there's a lot of men in that grouping.
Actually, there are no girls, so.
Yeah, I have no judgment about that at all. I just the idea of playing that game, not the PG rated. Yes.
Well, I think Thor and Sif always had a thing in one of the comics, didn't they? So they'd maybe have a thing in this game. And
Sif is not in the Warriors.
not what? Hey, what's it called?
The Warriors.
She is in the. Oh well, I call it the Warriors 4, so she is there. She's in my little game. Well, yeah. I haven't played this game, so I'm confused. Next question. It didn't take too long. We'll do this later.
You tried.
I tried.
Like the effort.
Hi guys, thank you for being here. So we just had Captain America Civil War, which was incredible, and the Avengers had a bit of a family tiff, to put it mildly. And the status quo has changed dramatically while Thor has been gone. So I was just wondering how you were thinking about how he would respond to that when he comes back, what he thinks about what happened between Steve and Tony, what his response will be when he comes back.
I think he's just really upset he wasn't involved, right?
And then I'll be like, sort it out, idiots. This is silly. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know where that's going to, the story's going to go when Thor does come back. But I think it'll come as quite a shock that they're not all getting along and having a bit of a tiff. But, we'll see what kind of larger element, is that larger than their individual disputes and they need to come together and sort it out? Who knows? I don't know. I just don't know any of how they're that far ahead with the films, whether they're even written yet. But
Loki's like, when I came down to Earth, I brought you guys together. And now I've left and you're fighting each other. Sorry. I'm so sorry.
Loki's going to come back and lead them all.
I like this idea.
Me too, thank you.
Talk about internet rumors and speculation.
Can we just, while we're on the Civil War, can we talk about that Chris Evans does a bicep curl with a helicopter?
I was just going to bring that up.
Seriously, when I watched that movie, I was like, if you don't love that, we can't be friends.
I was going to ask how Chris was going to top that in the next Thor movie.
Bicep kill the Hulk, maybe.
Yes, sir, the young one there.
If you could take the staff and the hammer home, would you, and why?
Ooh.
Household maintenance, chores, that kind of bit of repair work.
I need a broom for the kitchen, so I just would stick a little broom on it, and it glows in the dark. You can do your housekeeping at night.
Do your chores, kid. Thank you for that question.
Yep. I think I'm staying too far. I want to thank Tom for bringing up Kevin in Ghostbusters, because this is a question for Chris about Ghostbusters. Because you're here, you're talking about Thor, and you're well known as like the big manly man. He's a huge hero, and he's larger than life. He's a god, and then now you're playing Kevin in Ghostbusters. He's the Janine. And first of all, I am super excited for this movie. But can you just talk a little bit about the difference between playing Thor and playing Kevin?
Yeah, a lot of differences. I didn't have to go to the gym, which was nice.
We like that you go to the gym.
We love that you go to the gym.
Love going. It was. It was a lot different, and it kind of came alive when we got there, because I remember talking to Paul, the director, and not really knowing what the character was, and he said, it's fine, it's going to be a lot of improvisation. And we got there, and the girls and myself, we just started sort of, improvising, and this character kind of took off, and he's completely wacky and, needs to be rescued most of the time, and probably does more harm than good, and, doesn't even know how to answer the phone, and, he's just hoping to get some free rent. He's hoping that comes with the job, which it kind of does. But,
Chris, would you say that maybe Thor is the greatest performance you've ever given, and that Kevin is much closer to home?
Yes. Kevin's much more me, and thanks, yeah.
That's good. I can't wait to see Ghostbusters. Who can't wait to see Ghostbusters?
So when you guys first met, did you get along like right away, or did it take some time?
We got along. I think it was at Ken's house, wasn't it?
We were at Ken Branagh's house.
Ken flew myself, Natalie Portman, Tom, the writer, all out to his house in London, and we all had this sort of 3-4 day sort of introduction and hang out over the script, and me and Tom, we just sort of instantly kind of got along, and we're like, wow, isn't this crazy? Because we were both at the very early stage or beginning of our career, and huge fans of these comics and this story and what it could be, and talking about all sorts of possibilities. And every time we're at something like this, and Tom said it to me 20 minutes ago, he said, can you believe that 6 years ago we first started, this thing and these characters, and here we are. So it was awesome.
I walked into Ken Branagh's office, and I had the response that many of you have when you see Chris for the first time, which is, Jesus Christ. Huge. And then actually Natalie arrived, and we went off, and Jesus Christ. And then we were dispatched to go and train together, and we went for a run, and you lifted some logs, I think, and but it was really cool. It was just the coolest thing. And somehow we both felt like we had the best luck, and that it was going to be this great adventure, and in that moment we were completely bonded by it. And it has been the most incredible adventure, the whole thing. We're very lucky.
Thank you.
You?
Hi, I just wanted to say I love you guys, not only as Thor and Loki, but in The Heart of the Sea and in Coriolanus. I love those movies. But I wanted to ask, what has Loki been up to since we last seen him, and what is a day in the life as King Loki?
Well, the trains run on time for once. Streets are clean. Taxes are low.
But essentially the people are sad. Dictatorship.
Strangely new posters everywhere of Loki's face. I can't explain it. Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I could tell you, but I'm not going to.
You'll get to see it though.
Because you'll get to see in November 2017. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, how you guys doing? In Avengers 1, when the Hulk is throwing around Loki, how did you do that scene? Did that hurt?
It hurt my pride, most of all. My dignity and my self-esteem. It was a very, very funny day at work, because it was just me in the room. Mark Ruffalo wasn't there, but it was me and Joss Whedon, and the art directors and the set decorators had dug out these trenches in the set. And so what I had to do was I had to essentially jump into these things, which felt like the most ridiculous thing I'd ever done. As if I was being Hulk smashed. It was just the stupidest. I mean, if you could have been there. Joss Whedon couldn't keep a straight face. I couldn't keep a straight face. So we kept ourselves entertained. But I'm glad the scene worked out. Yeah. So.
When you know a scene like that's coming up, do you try to sneak onto the set so you can watch him ridiculously jump from hole to hole?
Just putting fart machines in each trench or something.
No, I was happy to have the day off. It was. You got this one, Tom, and off you go.
Can't fault you there.
Awesome. So first, I just want to say, Chris, I'm really excited for Ghostbusters. Both of you guys, I love you and like everything you guys have done. But Tom, I know you said you're possibly up for like 007 or something. So if you were to get that role, or even just a role in that's similar to it, would you want Chris to play some sort of villain? And if so, what kind of villain do you think it would be? Like something to take over the world like Loki, or more subtle, just kind of destroy you personally?
Good luck with that one, Tom.
I would, by the way, I'd be first in line to see Chris as a villain in something. That'd be awesome. I quite like the idea. I mean, I think it's hilarious that he just wants to destroy me personally. That's a real vendetta he's got there. I don't know. What kind of villain would you like to play, Bud?
Oh, I don't know. I have no idea.
Like thinking Javier Bardem in Skyfall, you thinking...
You can't go and copy someone else.
No, of course, yeah, your own original work.
Yeah, maybe subtly copy Loki or something. But, I don't know, I just want with no parameters and no rules, and but I don't know. It's an interesting question. I don't have an interesting answer.
It would be fun to do something contemporary with Chris one day. I mean...
it'd be nice to have the role reversal, and play the villain and you be the hero. It'd be cool.
Or like two anti-heroes. Something like that. We just talking, we're just taking up time. Come on, who has a question?
Hi, first off, Tom, I have to say you're probably the best birthday present I could have ever gotten this year. And Chris, you are pretty much icing on the cake, so it's wonderful to have you guys here. Tom, I know you're a big Doctor Who fan, and I know with all the rumors going around with being the next Bond, but if you, in a perfect world, got to choose, would you rather be the next Doctor or the next Bond?
Everyone tweet this response.
How do you pick, like, it's like asking Chris to choose between his favorite children. I don't know. What do you think?
Both.
I personally say Doctor, but I would love you in anything, so I'm biased.
Honestly, I couldn't possibly say, because I don't know that I will ever be either of them. But they're both great characters, obviously. So, big fan.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, hi Chris and Tom, I'm Sophie. I recently just had the pleasure last month of having Mark Ruffalo as my college commencement speaker, and he gave a really great speech kind of helping to inspire us as young graduates and creatives. And I was wondering what advice you guys would give to aspiring artists or actors or anyone that's, just needs a little pick-me-up.
Advice is always tricky, isn't it? Because you got something?
I remember being in high school and having a different idea every week of what I wanted to do and so on, and that came from I just wanted to do something that made me happy, and I watched a lot of people, in employment that they didn't love and weren't inspired by, and I don't want to do that, I want to do something that takes me on all sorts of adventures. And then so I thought, I'm going to be an actor. And a lot of the sort of career advice I got from my teachers was, wow, that's ridiculous. What's your backup plan or what's your thing? And I just never had one. I was sort of obsessed with this idea then, and I think you've got to truly love it because there is a lot of no's and a lot of doors being closed. But if that's what kind of fulfills your soul and that's what keeps you inspired and active in life and moving forward and continually sort of searching, and then I think go and chase it and do it and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. But yeah, as I said, just whatever makes you happy, I think.
And really go after it. I mean, go after it and chase it down. Don't take no for an answer. Bash your head through the brick wall and keep doing it. The great tragedy is that one day you would look back on your life and say, I wish I had. I wish I had just tried it. I wish I'd tried this. You know, I've said this before, but they all get one life and it's a short one, and you have to spend it doing things that you love. And the more you love what you do, the more you inspire those around you, the more you create an environment which is full of love and life and fun and energy. So go after it with every fiber of your being.
Thank you very much.